Okay. Let's, come on, kick. Okay. Hello. Hello, and welcome. We are again live, and thank you for turning on DTV News Show. My name is Dennis, and I am your host today, and thank you for joining. Really, we had some issues with the audio earlier and yesterday, and so my goodness, here in our California studio, it's just we try to make it happen. That's all I could say. We try to make it happen as quick as possible. So I just wanted to thank you for joining and being patient. And let's go check and see who's in the chat real quick. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to any of our new members. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to share our news and our family with you. So let's take a look and see who's in the chat today, because I really like to take care of all our members, and it's just really wonderful to have everyone here at the DTV News Show. So we'll continue to monitor the chat as we go along, and just wanted to thank everyone from Kick and people from Twitch and of course YouTube. So we've got streaming multiple platforms we're streaming on, and that's the way you got to do it. You know, you got to do it that way sometimes. So also, let me make sure. Let me know if everything is matched up here with the voice and the sound. You know, because I want to make sure that we're getting the right audio. So, with that in mind, let's take a small trip. We'll talk a little bit about Marco Rubio and how he humiliates himself in front of Donald Trump. This man is a sycophant, and it just never lets up. I think I have some video of Mr. Rubio cucking himself, so we'll definitely take a look at some of that as well. And the first, we'll take a listen to Secretary Burgum. Burgum was in Venezuela trying to steal as much gold and oil and natural resources from them as possible. So this guy is just he's incredulous. So I don't want to listen to him too long because he talks really fast. But let's take a listen.
We signed the first licenses for critical minerals to start flowing and precious metals. On Friday, there was $100 million of gold that came from Venezuela to the United States. That's for both industrial purposes as well as other commercial uses. Venezuela's got 500.
So where'd that $100 million of gold go? Can't that be used for, I don't know, healthcare, food, SNAP, all kinds of things?
$1 billion of resources of gold, but they've also got other critical minerals, bauxite for aluminum, which we need for defense and for consumer goods. They've got coal resources that can be used to help generate power, to help us win the AI arms race with China. So they're rich, rich, rich in minerals. And just like they passed an amazing hydrocarbon law back in January, in 3 weeks, their legislature did that in response to the U.S. That's creating opportunities for investment, for human capital and financial capital in their country haven't seen. And now on Monday, in tomorrow, they're introducing a similar kind of change in regime of the laws for all of the critical minerals in mining. And so when we were down there this week with both oil and gas executives from the U.S. and the top mining executives, these folks are excited about getting back to Venezuela. They were often there before in the past. They see great opportunity. And I tell you, the people of Venezuela, they are going to be putting up a statue to President Trump as a great liberator because he has opened up their economy again after more than 2 decades. So. The enthusiasm is high on the ground level in Venezuela for what their future can be.
Okay. So this guy obviously is got some pretty high powered drugs in his system. There won't be any statues erected of Trump, even though the the current Venezuelan president, she has bent the knee to Trump. And I tell you, it will come out, mark my words, that she probably was instrumental in them capturing Maduro. Watch, it will come out. Believe me, it will. And I think she will be right there because she's pretty greedy. She's been the oil minister of the country for a long time. So I don't want to listen to Bergram anymore because he's just going to spout the same thing. But let's take a listen, though. I was watching Brooks and Capehart the other day, and Brooks, who is a Republican, had some very unusual things to say about the war.
I'd like to ask you first about the news, the selection.
First, I would say the reason we're at war is because Iran declared war on us 47 years ago. And
Okay, let me let you listen to that again.
that we've been in a forever war with Iran. First, I would say the reason we're at war is because Iran declared war on us 47 years ago. And that we've been in a forever war with Iran that has gone up until last week when they were trying to reconstitute their nuclear weapons.
Questions from our.
Okay, none of that is fact. And he is complicit in spreading all this MAGA crazy. So he's saying that we've been in a war with Iran for 47 years. Well, that is just decidedly untrue. And also he said that up until last week they had nuclear weapons. What the fuck? I mean, this is just ridiculous. And he, being a Republican, and I don't listen to Brooks and Capehart because it's all Republican talking points, but I found that to be quite unusual. But and the military action, as you can see, this support is not supported at all. So I don't know where Brooks is getting his information from. But let's listen also to Capehart, Jonathan Capehart.
Latest PBS News NPR Marist poll, just 44% of Americans support U.S. military action in Iran. 56 oppose it. That includes 66% of independents. And just 36% of Americans approve of how President Trump is dealing with Iran overall. That is down from 42% in January of 2020 when the U.S. assassinated the Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. So, David, the man who ran on no new foreign wars, is up. Gather.
So that was very interesting. And shout out to Katie Fang. I do follow her and several other independent media, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, Midas Touch, Brian Taylor Coyne, and a few others. We're all part of the independent news that's out there now, as because CNN will be purchased pretty soon, by or Warner Brothers will be purchased, and pretty soon they will turn CNN into Fox News. I'm assuming all those people who are working there will probably quit, and they'll start their own independent news show, much like DTV news show. So be prepared for that, because that's coming. Let's listen to what Katie has to say. I think she's talking about Mr. Marco Rubio on this one, so check it out.
Take a listen.
If I may, because some of these cameras cover in Spanish. You all right about that? Oh, good. Please. We don't need an interpreter for this one. Quiero darle las gracias. I think I'm a good interpreter. You'll find out in a second. But las gracias a los países que están aquí.
So, so this guy, he has to turn around and ask the Orange Master if he can speak Spanish. Did you hear him? Would it be okay if I spoke Spanish to these people, Master? So Marco Rubio is just a disgusting person. He's the worst Secretary of State that's ever been. Even back in the Revolutionary days, he's got those guys top two, and there were some bad ones then.
Eastern Iran, this region has
Questions from our latest PBS News NPR Marist poll just.
Okay, so let's we're going to take another look too at some other video. But one of the things I did want to show is the war and how it's really affecting Iran and other areas too. Just some of the war
Eastern Iran.
planes.
This region has unforgiving terrain and is sparsely populated. Plus, it's a long journey from Israel, so the risk from air defenses is a lot higher. Within these targets, the ones that you see on your screen, the capital Tehran has been peppered. It's been the worst hit in the ongoing air campaign. The second worst hit city is that of Isfahan. The map you just saw should give you an idea about the Israeli-US attacks. They're widespread and intensive. But now let's look at specific targets. In total, more than 4,000 targets.
So it's just a continued carpet bombing that's going on there. It's really quite disgusting. We'll take a look at some video.
The bombardment has been relentless. American bombers and Israeli fighter jets have been pounding Iran for days, striking military bases, command centers, and missile facilities across the country. Explosions have rocked Tehran. Smoke columns have risen over strategic sites. Warplanes have hit multiple oil depots in and around Tehran, igniting huge fires and sending thick black smoke across the skyline. These are images from Tehran showing the devastation.
In addition, last night we attacked fuel depots used by the regime's.
So, this particular war was not necessary. Only because Trump is a big man-child baby, and he just wants to do as much damage as he can while he's in office. And Marco Rubio and his whole cabinet, basically, he's got a real criminal cabinet. They're just simply trying to enrich themselves. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was a redneck woman in Georgia, she came out after making $25 million. So that's kind of what you get when you are part of a criminal organization like the Republicans. So I wanted to show a picture, and this I think is very interesting. Let's see, try it again. So, what you see is a picture of the Oval Office, the way it used to look. Here you've got very understated, very traditional, as opposed to what you see when you see the Oval Office now. You don't see any gold brackets hanging all over the place or gold cherubs all over the place. You just see an office, very professional office that is coming to the executive of the United States. Just wanted everybody to remember what it looks like, because once Trump is gone, they're going to have to delouse that place, delouse that place, so it can get back to normal. One other thing before we move on is the Barack Obama Presidential Center will be opening on June 18th of this year. So I did get from the website, I did take a little clip of a video of how beautiful this place is going to be, and I think it even has like a golf green out there somewhere, and it definitely has a basketball court.
Everywhere we look, there's history to reflect on, and history to be made. That's what the Obama Presidential Center is all about, honoring the stories of those who brought us to where we are today, and bringing people together to chart an even brighter future. Here on Chicago's South Side, the Obama Presidential Center will offer old friends and new visitors the chance to explore a world-class museum and gather together for celebrations of all kinds. It will add to the vitality of Jackson Park, adding new gardens, a larger playground, and scenic paths for an early morning jog or an afternoon stroll. And it will do all that while creating jobs and driving economic opportunity here in Chicago and enriching the landscape of the South Side that Michelle and I have called home for so long. I like to think of the Obama Presidential Center Museum as a tribute to what happens when ordinary people come together to do extraordinary things.
So you can follow that video at the Obama presidential website, and it's a little longer, but I did want to show how beautiful the place is right on the edge of the water there in Chicago. So that should be a very big opening. And with that said, let's. I know there was Roland Martin had something to say about this. So let's take a listen to Roro and see what he has to say about this.
As of course, Juneteenth. Well, folks, former President Barack Obama is set to open his presidential center in Chicago on June 18th. That's right, of course, Juneteenth weekend, if you will. The $850 million project includes a museum, library, athletic facilities, public meeting space, outdoor areas. Of course, roll the video, guys. And so Obama talked about this opening.
When visitors look up at the Obama Presidential Center's museum building, they'll see three simple, powerful words. You are America. Those words come from a speech that is especially close to my heart. The one I gave in Selma on the 50th anniversary of the march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That day we honored ordinary men and women who, at great risk to themselves, changed this country's course and helped bend the arc of history a little more towards justice. The progress fought for and won by generations before us is our greatest inheritance as Americans. I hope these words remind us of that truth. I also want to take a moment to say thank you to the city of Chicago and especially to the residents of the South Side. Thank you for raising Michelle, for welcoming me as one of your own, and for lifting up our family every step of the way. And thank you for embracing this presidential center, not as something of mine, but of yours. Hope is coming home, and it wouldn't have happened without all of you. We can't wait to welcome you to your presidential center. God bless.
One person who ain't gonna be there, punk ass Donald Trump. That's right. Valerie Jarrett, who's president of the foundation, was on MSNBC over the weekend, and she says, yeah, he ain't invited. She said, nah, he can come later if he want to check the facility out, but he ain't invited to the opening on June 18th. Let's go to my panel. Velma. So here's the deal. Former President Joe Biden, invited. Former President Bill Clinton, invited. Former President George W. Bush, invited. Trump punk ass ain't invited.
Access should not have been granted to this country with him anyway. So the fact that he's not invited is very clear as to why. This man literally just posted one of the most egregious, disgusting, deplorable things that any president can do to a former president and his wife. You don't just play with a man, but when you play with that man's wife, his rib, and you think you finna come to his center that is dedicated to him, that was built on his back and the back of his wife's work. Black men play about a lot of things, but don't play with that rib, because you gonna meet the person that you desired, but you ain't gonna meet him in a way that you think that you're gonna meet him. So him being denied access is necessary, is needed. He, one, cannot maintain a level of composure to be invited to an event of this magnitude. No, you don't need to come. You need to sit out there and twiddle your little orange Cheeto and your depressed hair, because everything on you and in you is a depressing atmosphere. So no, we don't need that kind of sin and that kind of gloom coming to the Barack Obama. Like, no, we don't need that.
We don't need poopy pants there, Scott.
It's hard to invite the current president, given not just the postings of the racist postings about Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, but also his ongoing criticism of prior Democratic administrations, Biden, the posting of pictures in the White House with him writing like he's tweeting and writing negative things under their pictures and what have you. I mean, it's really juvenile.
But also he also removed Obama's portrait from the White House, and I think stuck it under a staircase.
Yeah. And so this is purposeful. It's intentional. And he doesn't expect an invite. It's hard for anyone to invite Donald Trump anywhere, quite frankly, because of the things that he said and the crassness, the crudeness, and really the criminality of his personality. And so I'm not surprised at that. I will say one thing about the postings, the racist postings with Michelle and Barack Obama. But what I think a lot of people in the media missed wasn't so much that he posted it. They got that part. But the fact that he would not apologize for it being posting, that there was no coaching or termination of the staffer who allegedly posted it, if a staffer did post it. But the fact that it didn't bother him that it was posted, but more importantly, that it didn't bother him that someone on his staff, if that was true, thought it was okay to post it and thought it would be okay for him to post it. That's the real demoralizing part, because that goes to the human condition or the morality of someone. And as I've always said on this program and others, that this president is immoral, but he's amoral also. And it doesn't.
Okay, so, looking forward to the opening of the Barack Obama Presidential Center. It's in a great neighborhood. It looks like it's going to be quite an event center there, and for that particular South Side. So that's going to be really great. So if you have an opportunity to go, please do. You are invited to the cookout. There's only one man not invited to the cookout, and that's Donald Trump. Okay, so there was one other thing I wanted to show as well. So let me See if I can find the video. And okay. It was oh yes, this is from Savvy Sabs. I actually just started following her. She has a really good channel, and she's talking a little bit about the Strait of Hormuz in Iran, which the Iranians are mining it now, so that any ship that comes through there is going to blow up pretty much. So let's take a listen to Savvy. She's got a new intro.
So, after all the bombing, Donald Trump made an announcement that he feels as though this war is pretty much over. There have been calls from the US and Israel to ask for a ceasefire, not the other way around. Iran is not the one asking for a ceasefire. It is the US and Israel that tried to make that happen. But what is really interesting is that this seemed to happen after the call from Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin contacted Donald Trump not about the Ukraine war, but about the Iran war. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump made that statement at the press conference. Check this out. Trump has a call with Putin to discuss the Iran war. I hate these pop-ups. Here we go. President Donald Trump had a call Monday with Vladimir Putin to discuss the war in Iran and
So you can follow along on Savvy Sab's website. She's another independent news person as well, and you can follow along there. Sometimes I do shout out and use some of the content that's out there, and she is fairly reliable. So, with that said, I am going to thank everyone for turning on DTV today, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more news updates.